Okay, so the 2012 version of Les Mis on the big screen. I'm very lucky that I actually saw the actual play, so I already knew what was going on and already had an idea of most of the songs. So in this one you have Hugh Jackman, or Wolverine, depending on how you want to look at it, playing Jean Valjean. Opposite him is Russell Crowe, Gladiator, who is Javert. If you happen to know the story, then the important things to know is Hugh Jackman, very good singer. Russell Crowe, again, very solid singer. And Anne Hathaway does a very good Fantina. They did a really good job of picking people for these songs. And Hugh Jackman and Russell Crowe really do a fantastic job, you know, since to the two main characters, carrying the bulk of this movie. Sacha Baron Cohen and Helena Bonham Carter do an excellent job as the innkeepers. So, what exactly is the plot of this movie? When it begins, Jean Valjean is finally somewhat released from prison. But he will be on indefinite parole. And his papers most have him written down as a dangerous individual. So he really can't find work anywhere. And he has to more or less check in about every 10 days. Time goes by, and he all of a sudden disappears. But Javert, who essentially is, you can see how in the beginning, he's just overseeing the slaves and the prisoners. And then every time you see him later and later in the movie, he's got a more and more opulent uniform. Right? He's making his way up the ranks. And he is undeniably dead set on finding this man. Even though, from the first time, Jean Valjean goes into hiding, there's like an 8-year gap. So over the course of roughly 20 years, he's hunting him down. That is some dedication. They didn't have cold cases back then. And as this is going on, you also have the French Revolution happening at the same time. So occasionally they break away from that main story to show you what's going on with the rest of France at the time. So even though a lot of the movie is the back and forth and a chase between these two, and the interplay of, I finally captured you. No, I have to do this. I'll come back to you in a couple of days. Let me do this. Let me do this small deed. And it's almost always something undeniably noble, whether it's, I promised this woman I would look after her daughter. Let me go find her. Or it's, I'm carrying this person who's currently dying. Can I at least get him to a hospital? So you've always got that interplay between Jean Valjean and Javert, which is really strong. So you've got two really strong main characters, as well as everything else going on with, the ending of a French Revolution, going back into a re-uptick in the French Revolution. It does have a really nice epic feel to it. So if you happen to enjoy the musical, this is pretty much the exact same thing, just done on a slightly grander scope. Because it ends up being easier to do these things on a large screen than it is to try to do them in a theater setting.